how we can create a Google form. That will be done using a Google Classroom. Then second point is how we can how we can manage this form and how we can evaluate it. And at the end, we'll be checking out what needs to be done, what best practices we should follow, and what we can avoid. So I'll be doing all these attributes live so that you can see what I am doing. I'll be first of all switching off my video. And now if at any particular point of time you feel that the screen is not visible, please do speak out so that I can refresh my screen and you will get benefited from the discussion that we'll be having today. Let me switch on towards the classroom. This you are familiar with because from yesterday you have been discussing this continuously, the LMS that we are having. So this is our LMS wherein I'm having these number of classes available in my classroom. So if I take an example, right now we are in this Google Suite classroom for e-learning. So we'll be taking an example with respect to any of the classes that has been created over here. So if I take a class of networking, now the time I take this networking class, I am able to see the networking classroom wherein certain posts have been already made. Now I'll be focusing on the second point, that is the classwork. Now, once I click on this classwork, you can see there is a create button. So my first objective is, before I start creating a form, you should remember the first step is that you have to open or you have to log in to Gmail ID. Now, your step number 2 will be open the classroom where you want to create a quiz, assignment. Is it okay? Then your step number 3 will be that you will go to classroom tab, classwork tab. And once you go to classwork tab, then your step number 4 will be to click on create button. What we'll be doing is we'll just click on create button. Yesterday's class, yesterday's session, you have understood what question is, how we can post a question, how we can post material, how we can post reuse post. Then today in the first session, you did understand that how we can put an assignment, how we can post an assignment, how we can evaluate an assignment. But now I'll be focusing on quiz assignment. The time I click on this quiz assignment, you can see it is similar screen what you had seen in assignments, but there is one difference. That difference is what you see over here, a blank quiz is created. Now here you can give a title. So see, as a teacher, you can give whatever title you find feasible with respect to this particular quiz assignment that you are going to create. Let's assume this is a demo class, so I'll say demo quiz. I'll write demo quiz for 5 days online program. So if this is the case, then in similar fashion, you can write instructions over here, whatever you like. What I have done is I have copied the above statement and I have pasted it over here. You can mention over here, you need to spend, let's suppose you need to spend 15 minutes to complete this particular questionnaire or this quiz. Whatever instructions you want to give, you can mention it over here. Now, once you are mentioning these instructions, then the most important part over here is to create a quiz. So what you need to do is you need to click on this blank quiz button. This blank quiz button, what you have seen over here, it will take the control from Google Classroom to Google Forms. This is actually Google Forms screen where you are getting a blank quiz. I'll firstly suggest that first of all, before starting by typing in questions, you should always write the name of the quiz so that you will not get lost in quizzes that you are going to create. If you are having 7 or 8 classes, you will be lost in 7 or 8 blank quizzes. Therefore, it is better to write a title for it. Let's suppose today, as you have seen, that this is a demo quiz for 5 days online program. So I'll say demo quiz for 5 days so that I can understand what quiz it is. But do remember, before typing in a question, you need to do some exercise prior to starting this particular process. You need to prepare the questions. You can prepare it in a Word document. You can prepare it in a notepad file, whatever you feel comfortable with. So if, let's suppose, I'm having a notepad file over here, I'll say that what you need to do, step number 5, you should be ready with the questions. You should be ready with the questions and what options you are going to put for these questions. Do remember that as a teacher, we always say that we are having MCQs. We can have subjective type questions. We can have different types of questions. But when we are dealing with a quiz, we always prefer having MCQs because it will give better option to students to opt for it, because when you give subjective, it becomes a bit lengthy. I'll be showing both the two over here. So let's firstly start. We'll assume that you have already prepared questions for MCQ. You know you have prepared the answers for it. You have already prepared what is the correct answer for it. Once it is ready in a Word document, once it is ready in any format, what you are comfortable. It can be notepad, it can be Word document. Now let's assume we are ready with it. So I'll start over here. As you can see, the first question is mentioned over here as untitled question. This is the question that will be displayed on the student's screen or the participant's screen once this form is made live. So first you need to write a question. Let's suppose I'll write over here multiple choice question 1, and I'll write demo over here so that you will understand this is question 1 demo. Now what do you need to have? Is it an MCQ? Is it a subjective? Is it a short answer? Is it a long answer? You need to finalize it here only. Let's take step by step. Let's firstly start with an MCQ. So if you go towards the right hand side, you can see over here it's mentioned multiple choice. Now if you click over here, now you can see all the options that are available while I am creating a quiz. The first option that is available over here, I can have a question with short answer type. So it means if I click on short answer type, so the answer that a respondent will give, it will be a short answer type. If I write a paragraph, the question will be turned into a paragraph. As you can see over here, all the options are gone. Now it is simply a long answer text. Again, clicking on this so you can have a multiple choice question. Let's click on this multiple choice question so that we can see it. Then you are having checkboxes option. It means the same question, but you will be having checkboxes with each and every option. So a student will get a checkbox. If he checks it, it will be treated as a correct answer. Similarly, you can have a drop down. Now, what does a drop down mean? If you check out over here, I'll go back to this question. This option over here, what you see over here, paragraph is written. This is actually a drop down menu. If you click on that, you will have a list of options that are available. So based on that list of options, you can select one. So you can have multiple choice questions wherein all options are given. You can have checkboxes. You can have drop down as well. Then you can have one more option wherein a student will be prompted to upload a file that he has prepared. You can have options in one linear scale also, wherein 0 will mean something, 0 will mean lesser possibility, 5 will mean higher possibility. So we'll be exploring all these options one by one. Let's start with the first option, that is multiple choice. Now, if I go for multiple choice, automatically the option is displayed over here. Let's suppose I'll say this is answer 1, so that we will understand what to write. You can write depending on the question. Now I'll go over here, I'll write answer 2. If you observe it carefully, the time I have clicked on the place where an add option was mentioned, automatically the add option was shifted one step downwards. So it's giving me space to add options. I have added answer 1, I have added answer 2. The time I click over here, it will give me space to write. So I'll say answer 3. So I've written third answer. Then similarly, if you want to write answer 4, so your 4 choices are available with respect to multiple choice question 1 demo. Now, once you are done, you have finished it. Now you want to create one more. Now see the beauty over here. You don't need to repeat all the steps again. You can see over here these 2 square boxes. Just check the mouse position, mouse cursor position, wherein my mouse is positioned. You can see over here, once you put your mouse at this particular location, a help symbol will be generated wherein the text will explain this button is used for duplicating your question that you have created. So if you click on this, the question will be copied. One more question has been created. So I can simply write over here, this is question 2 of demo, and rest of the options I'll keep them as it is. But this time I'll change the format in which they are displayed. I'll go back to this multiple choice, and this time I'll say that this is a checkbox. Now, if you check out over here, this is a radio button over here. It means once you click over here, the student will get a feel that he has to select an option. And here, it's this checkbox. Then similarly, I can again copy it, and this time I'll write question number 3. Now, once I write question number 3, let me change this time it as a drop down. Now, once I say drop down, so I have prepared 3 questions. So I'll firstly focus on these 3 questions. Now I'll create one subject to type question. But prior to creating a subject to type question, I need to put some efforts in putting correct answer for these objective type questions or MCQs. So let me revisit these questions one by one, starting from question number 1. Now, the time I reach this question number 1, if you check out over here, this blue colored option over here, it mentions.
Excuse me, sir.
Yes, sir.
Sir, what is the need of that checkbox and this all these things?
I'll
I could not pull up the checkbox.
Yeah. These all 3 are one and the same options. I'll appreciate these questions. I'll be dealing each and every question at the end of the session. But as you have asked this question, so I'll put it like this. The radio button, the drop down, having all the options in front of you, it is one and the same thing. The only difference is the way we are displaying these options. Let's suppose if I take this particular question here, and if I move towards the preview of it, how a student will see it. Let me go to the preview so that you will understand. See, here you are having a round color. This is known as a radio button. So a student, once he will click, this will be treated as a correct answer. And here it's the radio button wherein a tick mark will come. It depends what type of display you want to give to the students. If you click over here, it will be a tick mark. So you will feel it, a button has been checked. Similarly, a drop down, when you click over here, you will get all the answers. You will select the correct one. So it's only difference is the way you are displaying the content to the student, the way a student will select an option. What I'll suggest is the time you are going for any MCQs, you should select one and stick to it. Don't go for one method, second question, second method, third question, third method. Why I am using different methods over here? Only to give you an overview that what are the different methods that are available over here. I hope I have resolved your query. Yeah. Are we together?
Sir, I am not getting your screen, please.
Okay, let me refresh it. No issue at all. If you are using your mobile phone, please, I'll request you to refresh your screen. It may be a network issue. So let me come back to this session. If again you are not having the screen displayed on your mobile phone or laptop, please let me know so that I can refresh it again. Let me refresh it. So bear with me for 1 minute so that I'll refresh it.
It is visible, sir. It is visible. No problem.
Thank you. Thanks a lot. So we are back to the form that we had created, wherein we had created 3 multiple choice questions in 3 different display patterns. So let me revisit one by one each and every one again. So I'll click anywhere on any option or the question. Now you can see on this particular side, this blue colored text that's mentioned over here, answer key. Now, if you click on this answer key, it's showing you what is the weightage of this particular question. How many marks are you going to assign to this question? Let's assume that this question, the weightage for this question is 2 marks. So you will simply either write 2 directly over here, or you can click on this up cursor, up arrow key, and you can stop once the weightage that you want to put for this particular question is displayed. If you wish, you are not satisfied with this, what you can do is you can directly write whatever number you want to write. So I'll write 2 over here so that we can understand how it works. Then you need to click on the answer that is correct. Let's suppose answer 4 is correct. Now, once I click on that, the system, the Google form has stored the information. Question number 1, demo is having the correct answer as answer 4. Number 1. Number 2, the weightage for this question is 2 marks. Now, once you are done with it, you will simply click on done. So it means the answer key has been stored. You can see over here, 2 points have been mentioned in this. Let me go to now question number 2. Now, once I go to question number 2, I'll again click on answer key. I'll put this as 1 mark. And then let's suppose answer 1 is the answer to this particular question. Similarly, I'll click on done. Then I'll go to question number 3, wherein I'll click on answer key. I'll put the weightage as 2 marks, and then I'll click on answer 3 as correct answer. So just a recap, we have completed 3 questions. Question number 1, we have marked the correct answer. We have given it 2 points. Question number 2, we have marked the correct answer and we have given it 1 point. Question number 3, we have given 2 points and we have marked the correct answer. Now, once we are done, we'll click on this done. Now, we need to go for one more question so that we can understand that subjective type questions can also be put in a Google form like this. Now, let me copy this same question over here, and this time I'll write subjective type question, subjective type question. And here I'll write question number 1. Again, it is a demo. So I'll go correct the subjective spelling. And this time I'll click on this drop down menu and I'll click on paragraph. Now do remember this. Once I'm preparing this questionnaire wherein a student has to opt for a quiz, he's having a multiple choice question, set of multiple choice questions, a subjective type question. You can ensure, if let's suppose this subjective type question is mandatory to answer. So if it is a mandatory question, then what you need to do is this required button needs to be switched on. If you switch on this button, so it means if a student is appearing in this particular examination, he has to answer this question. If he will not answer this question, the form will not be accepted, the response will not be stored. So this required button needs to be switched on only for those questions wherein you want an answer to be given. One more request over here, that once we are preparing this questionnaire, we have not stored the information about any individual who is giving information about this assignment or this quiz. So if you want to do that, what I can do is I can again copy this and I can put over here email. Now, once I put an email, it's a short answer type, or you can simply say it's an email ID a person has to write. So I'll say email ID, no points at all. No need to mention any key or anything like that. So a person has to give his email ID, or you can make it required. It means a person has to give his email ID. There are more options also. You can force a participant to log in first and then answer to these questions. I'll show you just after a few moments that how we can ensure that the email ID entered by a participant, by a respondent, is correct. So what we have understood as we are able to create questions, we are able to create multiple choice questions and a subjective type questions. We have given weightage to it, and that first of all, let's ensure will opt for answering this question paper. Now let me come back to the front panel of this form, wherein you can see these buttons over here. This is known as your settings button. This is known as your preview button. This is known as customizing themes. Let's suppose you want to give a picture to it. You want to put some customized themes which should be displayed when a student will opt for answering this particular question. So it will become easier for you. Wi-Fi go band.
Hello, good morning, sir. Hello, madam. You wait. Technical issue has been raised. It will be solved within a short span of time.
I'm back, sir.
Thank you, sir.
Yeah, I hope everybody is with me. There was a network glitch. As you know, the situation over here, network is a big issue. Therefore, I hope that I'm audible.
Yes, sir.
Yeah, thank you. Thank
Yes,
you.
sir, yes, sir.
Yes,
Is
sir,
my
you're
screen
audible.
visible?
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir, it is visible.
I hope you are not feeling sleepy because of my boring session.
Not at
No,
all.
no, sir.
Absolutely
It's not
no,
boring,
sir.
sir. Very good presentation.
Thank you, sir. Thank you. So let me come back to the form. As I was discussing, that we are in a position to create 3 MCQ questions, means multiple choice questions, and we have created one subject to type question. I'll request if somebody has switched on the microphone, please switch off. Mute your microphone. Kindly mute your microphone. Yeah, thank you. Thanks a lot. So I'm back to the questionnaire. Now I'll just give an overview of these buttons that are available over here. Please follow the mouse cursor that I'm using right now. This is the settings button. I'll come to it after 2 or 3 minutes. This is the preview button. The time you move your mouse cursor to the button, it will display what this button is meant for. Then similarly, you are having this button for customizing themes. If you want to put a picture over here, you want to put some customized graphics over here, you can put that. And this is an add-on button, which I'll discuss at the end. Once the session, I'll be completing the session. At that time, I'll be discussing this add-on, what it is. So let's firstly start with this preview button. The time I click on this preview button, it's showing me how a student will get the display of this questionnaire that you have prepared. So this questionnaire, what we have prepared, it's available over here. This will be the format in which a student will see these questions. Now, if a student is opting this particular answer, he'll be opting the correct answer, whatever it is. Then similarly, the second one, then similarly, he'll select an answer over here. Then he will write the subject to type questions answer over here. And he is getting displayed over here. What is the weightage of these questions? Now he'll be writing an email ID as well. And if you check out, a red colored star is displayed over here, which means it's mandatory. If you will not answer this particular question, you won't be able to submit. Let's suppose I treat as if I am a student. So I'll write a response to this particular question, this particular form, so that we'll understand how this form works. Let me give the answer to question number 1 as answer 2. Question number 2 as answer 3. See here in radio button, I can check, uncheck more than 1 options as well. Then in this drop down, I'm going to select answer 3. I know that I'm writing incorrect answers. I have done it knowingly. And now I'll write the answer for the subject to type question as the quick brown fox jumped over the lazy dog. That's fine. Now I'll write my email ID as mmkermani@gmail.com. Now the time I click on submit, my response will be stored. The time I click on submit, my response has been recorded. You are getting this message, your response has been recorded. All these things you can change. Whatever you want, you can put it over there. We have created 3 MCQs, 1 subject to type question, and we have responded as a student. How did we see that? We did go to the preview button to see how a student will respond. And if you check out this particular form, you can see this responses option is having 1 in a black colored background. It signifies that 1 response has been received. The time I click on response, you can see I'll get the summary of the responses that I have received. I can see these 3 options available for me. I can see the summary of all the answers that I have received as responses. I can see the summary of questions. I can see the assignments individually. Let's suppose this is my first assignment. So this is individual assignment of the person who has just responded. His first question is wrong. It is showing me that what answer the student gave, and he has got 0 points. Then second question, Incorrect answer, 0 points. Third question, he has given correct answer. He has got 2 marks. And here, no marks have been assigned. You as the evaluator are supposed to go through the question. If you are satisfied with the question, you will write over here, he deserves 1 question over here. 1 mark over here. For email ID, you don't need to give any marks. So you will click on save. The time you click on save, if you want to release this result, what you can do is you need to simply click on, you can go for summary. You can see now the summary. You can see each 1 by 1 question summary. You can see individual summary. You can go for n number of options in this. Now let's understand 1 by 1 the options that we had left. Then we'll move towards some more options as well. Now let's suppose I need to release the results of it. If I wish, I can send the results to the student. If I wish, I can simply click on release results and the same will be done. Let's come back to the questions and let's complete the form aspect first. So we did check out these buttons, wherein we did check out this preview button and we did give a response to it. Now, once we are done with it, we have understood how to preview the question paper or the quiz that we have prepared. Now, let's move towards the second aspect. That is the settings button. Now, once I go to the settings button, this screen is displayed. I'll click once more. I'll click on the settings button, and these are the options that are displayed over here. I'll request once more, somebody has unmuted his microphone. Mr. Bilal, please unmute your microphone. So please mute your microphone. Thank you. So I'll go back to the Google form. I'll repeat. We'll go to the settings button. The time I go to the settings button, I'm having 3 tabs available over here. The first one is General tab. The second one is Presentation tab. And the third one is Quizzes tab. But do remember, whenever you make any change, don't forget to save it. You need to save each and every change that you are going to make. Let's start from the General tab, wherein the first option is Collect Email Response. Now, the time I say, the collect email addresses, it means the time the form will be displayed to a student will be asked to write the email ID first. This is the best way to collect a valid email address so that you will not face any difficulty while you are responding to the respondent who has given response to the quiz that you have created. So first, you will click on Collect Email Address. Then there is one more option that is requires sign in. Here you are having 2 options. If you are logging in using your official email ID, then only you will have these 2 options. If you are logging in using your Gmail account, then you will have only 1 option over here, that is limit to 1 response. Right now, I have created a form which I need to publicize and I need to allow everyone to participate in this. Then I need to uncheck this because I'm not restricting it to my organization. I'm not restricting it to people whom are having email ID as email@scostkashmir.ac.in. If that is so, then I need to restrict it. Right now, it is open to everyone. Therefore, I'll not restrict it to my organization. I'll uncheck this button. I need to uncheck this. And if this quiz has to be attempted once only, then I need to click on this option that is limit to 1 response. Once I do this limit to 1 response, it means if I, using my email ID mmkirmani@gmail.com, am sending a response, I won't be able to submit it again. So this needs to be done, limit to 1 response. Then you can check here, respondent scan, the person who is responding to my questionnaire. If I want to give him edit facility, then I need to check this. Generally, in a quiz, we don't give edit facility. Therefore, it needs to be unchecked. Then see summary charts and text responses. Yes, you can check it or uncheck it based on your own requirement. So we have completed our General tab, wherein we did check the Collect Email Address option. We did check limit to 1 response. Once you are done, do click on Save. I'll again click on Settings button. We have gone through this General tab. We'll check all the changes have been saved. Now I'll go to the Presentation tab. Now, if you check out over here, you are having different options available over here. The first option is show progress bar. The time a student is carrying on with different questions, he'll get a progress bar. If you wish, you can check it. The second option is shuffle questions. The time I'm visualizing the form, I'll get question number 1, question number 2, question number 3. If somebody else is opening the form, he'll get shuffled all questions. Question number 3 will come first, question number 2 will come next, question number 1 will come last. So if you're having a huge repository of questions, you can use this option, which will give you an added-on advantage, having different shuffled questions to different people. So that's a very good option which you can give to the students. Therefore, based on your requirement, you will check or uncheck this particular option. And then do remember, you need to click on save. Then the third option is quizzes. If this is a quiz, you can check it or uncheck it. Then this particular option, that is locked mode on Chromebooks. This is available only and only when you are conducting on Chromebook only. I hope I am live. My voice is clear? Yeah.
Yes, sir.
Okay. Voice is clear?
Yes, sir. Sir, your voice is breaking, sir.
Yeah, is it fine?
Sir, no, it's fine. No. Yeah, yes, sir. Yes, sir. Sir, go ahead,
Okay.
sir. Please.
Okay. Thank you. So this option, that is locked mode on Chromebooks, this option is available only when the respondents are using Chromebooks. You can lock Chromebooks so that they cannot open another browser, so that they cannot use Control-C and Control-V to find out answers for the questions that you have asked. Then one more option over here is that immediately this release grades. As you have seen in the previous case, this immediately after each submit, the time a person is submitting a response, the time he will complete, he will receive the result. So generally, in subjective type questions, you need to evaluate those questions. Therefore, the best option is later after manual review. So if you are clicking on this particular option, it will give you a time span wherein you can check, you can review the question. The time you click on OK and release grades, the grades will be released. So as of now, we have seen 3 tabs: General tab, Presentation tab, and Quizzes tab, wherein in Quizzes tab, we did see that this option can be used only in Chromebooks. Here, it is better to go for later after manual review. If you are having only quiz, wherein the answer key is predefined, then you can go ahead with immediately after each submission. It depends on you, what your requirements are. So based on your requirements, you can come up with whatever plan you are having, and you can check or uncheck an option. So once I am through, I'll click on the save button. So I am ready with the question paper. I am ready with the settings. But there is a big question mark. How do I communicate to students? Where is the question paper? How do I communicate to the students? What is the link wherein this question paper is available? That is the very important part, very important aspect that we need to understand. We have seen this preview button. We have seen this settings button. Now this is the important button, that is the send button. You can click on this send option. Now you are having 3 tabs again. This is, you can write the email ID of the person to whom you want to send it. You can write the message, whatever you wish. The best option is the second one. The time you click on this, you are getting a link which you can send through WhatsApp, through Google Classroom. You can upload this link on your Google Classroom stream in order to give a message to all the participants that this is the link wherein you can opt or you can respond to the questionnaire. So there is a small issue with respect to this link. This link seems to be very long in length. If you want to shorten it, you can simply click on this particular option and it will be shortened. This will be your short link. There are options also available. You can convert this short link into a QR code as well. You need to simply click on google.com. You can write QR code generator. You can write this link over there and a QR code will be generated. Right now, we'll not go into the details of that. What we can do is we can simply click on this shortened URL and then simply click on copy. The time it is copied, if I go back to my classroom, let's suppose I'm going to this classroom, this is my stream over here. I can simply write in the stream that this is the questionnaire and I can click on post. So I have posted the questionnaires link over here. If I click on this questionnaire link, my questionnaire will be displayed over here. So it becomes easy if you are shortening it so that it will become short. Third option is that embedding this. If you are, if you know the coding, or if you are having a website wherein you want to give a button and you want to embed this code over there, then this is the third link. I'll suggest, if I, as a teacher, I'm not well versatile with computers, or I'm not well versatile with programming, then it is better not to use this option. We are having two options available over here. One is sending it through email. Second one is generating the link and shortening it. So we are in a position to send it across using different platforms. It can be sent it across through Google Classroom. It can be sent it across through social networking platforms, to WhatsApp, whatever you wished. Now, once I'm through, let me write one more response, or let me just complete the buttons first. We have gone through the preview button. We have completed the settings button. We have seen the send button. And then there is a three dots button. The time you click on this, you can see a good number of options. You can copy a complete form. You can move this form to a trash. You can simply get a pre-filled link wherein you have to fill a form and then click on that. A pre-filled link will be generated. You can print it. You can add collaborators to it. Let's suppose you are 3 teachers teaching the same course. You can click on add collaborators. And once you click on add collaborators, you can add their email IDs. You can add them, like I can see over here. These are the editors over here. You can make this not an editor, as an owner who can make more contribution to it. I can remove the editor rights to the individual who has been listed over here. Similarly, you can click on these 3 buttons. You can use this if you know what programming is. Then once I click on script editor, I can add my code to it. I can add buttons to it. I can add interactive programming to it using this script editor. I can add certain features which Chrome or Google or Forms is providing you as add-ons. Then I can add my preferences as well. I'll be going to this add-ons at the end of the session. So we have understood this 3 dots. There are options available: send, settings button, preview, and this customized theme. Now let me submit one more response so that we can release the results. Because we have put in the settings, in quizzes, I have put later after manual review. So I need to see how I can release the grades. So let me just click on this. And as you can see, we have mentioned over here, collect email addresses in the settings button. So therefore, email addresses is displayed first. So let me write mmkirmani@scostkashmir.ac.in. You can write anything, whatever you like. I can write answer 4 is the correct answer, answer 2 is the correct answer, answer 3 is the correct answer, and then I can give any text so that evaluator will do the evaluation. And this I can remove afterwards, and I can write jill@bill.com. So once I'm done, I'll click on submit. So the response has been recorded. Now I'll go back to my class wherein I'm continuing the session. Let me go back to my forms wherein I created it. Classwork is here. You can see this is demo quiz over here. I'll go to the blank quiz in order to open that quiz again. I'm having this over here. I'll edit it. I'll click on this edit button so that I'll see how many responses I have received. There are some more responses that I have received. These are the responses that I have received. This is the summary of responses. You can see that question number, these are the respondents whom have responded. This is multiple choice question number 1. This is summarized view. Then you can see scores over here. And what you see over here is release scores. The time I click on this release scores button, whosoever has responded as of now, they'll receive an email that you have received the response to it. Now, let me firstly go to the individual responses so that I can check subject to type questions as well. This is my response 1, wherein objective type questions have been answered. This subject to type has been marked. Now I want to go to the respondent number 2. I'll click on this particular button. I have reached respondent number 2. Now this is respondent number 2. Question number 1 is correct. Question number 2 is incorrect. Question number 3 is correct. Question number 4, let me assume he gets 2 marks for this. Now I'm clicking on save. Now, after that, I'll click again on this button. I'm receiving respondent number 3. Thanks a lot, Mr. Zubair, for responding to the questionnaire. Question number 1 is wrong. Sorry, this is just a test. Otherwise, he is very intelligent. Question number 2 is wrong. Question number 3 is wrong. Question number 4, which is a subjective type, he's saying wonderful. I am not wonderful. Thank you. I'm mentioning 2 marks. I'm saving it. And the time I save it, let me go to the summary and let me drag down and then simply click on release scores. The time I click on release scores, I can say hats off to everyone. Hats off to everyone for support. Just a message, whatever you want. Spelling mistakes, forget about it. I can select only those persons to whom I want to send this message. If I click on this, send email and release the scores have been released, and those persons whom have responded to this questionnaire, they will receive an email how much marks they have scored. Let me check mine first. If you check out over here, I must have received an email. Let me reload it so that I can understand how much score I have scored. See here, an email I have received and I have got the answer. The demo quiz for 5 days, you have scored 6 marks out of 7. Now this email gives you an idea that by just clicking a single button, you can release the score of all the students and an email will be sent to them that how much marks you have scored. Now with this, what I'll come back to my form so that I can discuss certain more attributes. You have seen that we have released score. We have prepared a question paper. We have given it to students, but there are certain attributes as a teacher which we would love to have. Now I have released the score, but if I need to prepare a grade sheet for all the students, how will I do it? What you need to do is you need to focus on these 3 buttons or this green colored button. The time I click on this green colored button, a Google spreadsheet will be created with all the details of the students, what question a student has opted, what answer he has given, and how much score he has got. Let me assume this is a blank quiz responses form. I'll simply click on create, and you can see that Google spreadsheet or Google Excel sheet will be created, wherein you can see that at what time the response was given, what was the email address of the person, how much score the person has got, what was the answer that he has given to question number 1, what was the answer that he has given to question number 2, what was the answer he has given to question number 3, what was the subjective type answer given to question number 4, and what was his email ID.
So you need to refresh the screen.
No issue. I'm refreshing it. So what you need to do over here is you need to click on this particular button. The time you click on this button, you will get a spreadsheet generated, which will be automatically saved on your Google Drive, wherein your timestamp is given at what time you have respondent has submitted the response, what were his answers with respect to all the questions in an Excel sheet. Now, if you wish, you don't need to generate an Google sheet. You want to download it, then simply click on these 3 buttons. Then see, you can click on download responses. The time I click on download responses, an Excel sheet has been downloaded. If I again click on these 3 buttons, you can unlink this form. So whosoever is clicking on this particular form won't be able to now respond to it. It will be treated as unlinking the form. Yes. Yes, anybody wants to say anything? Okay. Now, if you want to print all the responses, you can print.
Like after every few seconds, the screen gets freezed.
Okay, no issue at all. If you are using mobile phone, please refresh it. I'll try to refresh it again. Let me confirm whether I am live or not. Yes, I am live. And is my screen visible?
Sir, I am unable to see your screen. I don't know about others.
No issue. Just give me a second. 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 Is it visible now?
Yes, it is visible now.
Yeah, thank you. Now, if you can check out.
It's visible.
Thank you. If you check out the responses, I was discussing about this button over here. If you click on this particular button, it will automatically generate a spreadsheet which will be stored in your Google Drive. And if I click on this, and in this spreadsheet, you will have all the details, at what time a respondent has responded, his email ID, his total score, and all the answers that he has selected. If you don't like it, you can again click on these 3 buttons, and you can download all the responses by simply clicking on this particular option, and an Excel sheet will be downloaded, and you can store that. You can print all these responses. You can unlink this form, and the time you unlink this form, the form won't be available then on. You can select response destinations. You can click on this particular option if you want to receive a notification on your Gmail account that a response has been submitted. So what we have tried to understand is, we are in a position to create a form. We are in a position to evaluate the form. We are in a position to release the result. And then we are able to create an Excel sheet for the same. Now, there is one option which I had left, that was add-ons. This add-ons is one of the beautiful features wherein you are having good number of options. It's not only one, there are hundreds of options which are available. Right now, if you check out over here, this add-ons, I have already checked 2 add-ons. One is Certify and another one is Time plus Proctor. If you want to have any add-on based on your requirement, what you can do is click on these 3 buttons. The time you click on these 3 buttons, you will get add-ons. And in this add-ons, whatever add-on you would like to have, you can add those add-ons. Like, let's suppose you want to add an interactive sort of a screen to it, or you want to make this form interactive, simply write in this interactive. Now, if you are clicking on this interactive form, here is your interactive form, which will help you in designing a form in a more interactive fashion. But I'll suggest you, these all add-ons are from different players. As you have seen, once we clicked on these 3 buttons, you can write your own code as well if you know coding. You can add as many add-ons as you wish, but it's up to you. It's up to you to explore those add-ons to see which one add-on suits you. Like you have seen, I have added 2 add-ons. This first add-on is Certify, which specifies the time a person will submit the information with respect to a particular form, a certificate will be generated and given to him. Then the second one I have mentioned, Time plus Proctor. The time I prepare a form and send it across to my students, they will get a timer on their screen. Number 1. Number 2, if there are more than 1 faces available on their webcam, the form will automatically close. They'll be disqualified. So this is these are certain add-ons that I have used. You can also similarly use more add-ons. The time you use more add-ons, you will explore more and you will learn more. What my objective today was to, first of all, create a form from the classroom. So what we did is, we went to the classroom, we clicked on the create button, we clicked on this quiz assignment, and this particular option was available over here. A quiz was created automatically. We clicked on this quiz, and then after that, we started preparing the quiz, preparing the questions. Just to give you a recap, we were in a position to prepare objective type questions, subjective type questions. We were able to see the responses, summarized responses, question-wise responses, and individual responses. Then we were able to see the preview of it, the settings of it, generating link for it, seeing how we can deal with the forms by clicking on these 3 buttons. Then we did see how we can release the scores, and we did spend time in submitting responses and declaring results. With these words, what I'll suggest is, now I'll request all the participants to come up with their questions. If they have any doubts, we'll be most happy to try our level best to resolve the issues that you are having. I hope I have justified the time that you have spent in this session. Me and Mr. Tahir, both of us are available, and you can come up with your questions. You can go ahead. The floor is open for questions.
Sir, we have some questions from this chat box, sir.
Okay, yes, you can go ahead, Mr. Yunus.
Good afternoon, sir.
Good afternoon, Dr. Nausheen.
Sir, it was really a wonderful presentation and it was really need of the hour. Sir, actually, I have 3 questions regarding the presentation.
Yeah.
One was that, you said that one can edit after submitting the response.
Okay,
So
yes, very good.
this facility is available for the students that once they will write the answer after, what does it mean that edit after submitting response?
Okay, very good, very good. Now, second question.
So are you able to hear me?
Yeah, I'm hearing. You have mentioned
Now
that you are
the
having.
second question is about the checkbox. What is the need of the checkbox?
Okay, yes.
Three. Yes, sir. Yes, sir. So
Yeah,
one was
yeah.
this, what is the purpose of this edit after submitting response? In this case, I want to know,
I have heard that.
okay,
I have heard
is
that.
this option available to the student that after he, okay, fine. Now the second question is regarding the checkbox. What is the
Done.
purpose of the checkbox?
Okay.
And the third is that when you said that about the Chromebook, that the option, yes. Yeah,
you can
about
go
the
ahead. You can
Chromebook
go ahead.
that you refer that it is available only for the Chromebook that we have to.
Yes.
Yeah. So I'm repeating my question again. I'm
Question
talking
number
about the
three. Question
Chromebook
number
that
three.
the option of allocating a minimum number of time or whatever the time slot. Sir, I have already see. My first is the edit after submitting response. The second is checkbox and the Chromebook.
Okay, thank you. Any other question? Dr. Nausheen,
No,
any
sir.
other question?
Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you. Thanks a lot for your question, because these questions do help
No,
us
sir.
in
Okay.
Yeah, Dr. Nausheen, these questions do help us in getting more energy, because this gives us a message that people are listening and people are listening it very carefully. Thank you. The first option that you mentioned was edit. That edit option is generally, we don't use these Google Forms only for having quizzes. We do use it for filling questionnaires also. And this edit option is not editing a particular question, it is editing what responses you have given. Let's suppose I have to fill in a questionnaire for survey purpose. In those cases, we do keep this facility of editing the response. Sometimes by mistake, if I am putting in wrong answer or a wrong option with respect to the survey that has been conducted, I can modify that afterwards. If you want to give that facility, you can click on this edit checkbox and you can click on OK. If you are going for a quiz, then I will suggest this option should always be unchecked, because we should not give this option to respondents if it is a quiz wherein students are there. So it is a facility which depends on you whether you want to make it an open book, revisable or not. If it is revisable, you can go ahead. If it is not revisable, you can uncheck that. Then question number 2 was, what is the relevance of having a checkbox? If you have seen that when we go for multiple choice questions, sometimes you are having more than one answers to opt for. Now, if you want to give answer A, answer B, answer C, and answer D for a particular question, then you want to give an idea to the students. It's not only one question, one answer, there are more than one options. Then in that particular case, you should always give checkbox. Because in checkbox, you can select more than one answers. Now, in that particular case, we are having multiple choice questions wherein we can give answers. You have to select 2 answers. So this checkbox is more suitable in that particular case. It will allow you to select more than one answers. Then question number 3 is Chromebook. If all of your students, let's suppose you are having a class of 60 people, all of them are having Chromebook, then you can switch on this feature. What this will help you, that a student who is opting for sending the response using the Chromebook, he'll be able to give the response only. He won't be able to switch on to some other window. He won't be able to use Control-C and Control-V to copy the answer from somewhere else and paste it for the sake of submission. But this is not available on your other machines. It's only and only available for Chromebooks. Now you can ask me a question, why it is available for Chromebooks only? Now Google is having this liberty, it's their product, so therefore they can have some add-on advantage. But if you want to use it, you can go for add-ons, wherein Time and Proctor, you can go ahead, use it, and it's a very beautiful tool. I hope I have done justice with the question. If you still have any doubts, most welcome. I'll be happy to answer. Dr. Nausheen, please.
Thank you so much. Thank you so much.
My pleasure. My pleasure. Indeed an honor.
Thank you, sir. Thank you for clearing my
Well,
doubt.
we have a
Thank you.
question from Mr. Pankaj Goswami, sir.
Okay.
He said that is there any option that we can set a timer for each question?
But I already
Yeah, there is a timer. If you have seen the add-on option wherein I did mention time and proctor, you can use that option, but Google Form is not having any inbuilt option. Yes, there is one option. If you are having 3 sets of questions, let's suppose the first you want to ask a student to fill in his or her personal details, like email ID, which class he belongs to, which section he belongs to. Then second component, you are putting MCQs. Then third component, you are putting subject to type questions. Now, what you can do is you can add sections to it. As my screen is visible to everyone, I'll go back to forms. If I open any of the forms to begin with, now here is an option which you can use. That option is, you can see this form over here, and here is a menu available over here. The last option is add sections. The time you click on this add section, now you can have different sections. So first, section 1 will be displayed. Now, once you complete the details of section 1, there will be a next button over here. Now you can change the settings of it. It will give you different options. Then once you complete section 1, then you can go for section 2. But as such, there is no timer for each and every question. If you want to go for it, then you have to go for an add-on. I hope that the question has been addressed. Yes, any more questions?
Yes, sir.
Yes,
Sir,
yes,
Praveen.
Dr. Praveen, yes, go ahead.
Yes, sir. Yesterday you gave the assignment in which I am not able to add other Gmail accounts as a co-teacher, as a student. There is some problem for that. This type of a problem comes, sir.
No, see, generally what happens is, can I know which email ID you are using? Is it at gmail.com or is it some other email ID?
Your mail ID, sir. Your mail ID. Your organization.
Okay,
mail
okay.
ID.
Maybe I have seen there were responses from different respondents wherein there was an issue with respect to the spellings. Now, with respect to that, I will suggest there are certain cases wherein an email ID spelling error is there or some other error is there. Generally, this error should have not come. That's why when we saw that this error is there, then we did display another email ID as well, so that you will be able to comfortably add co-teachers to it. It all depends on what your domain settings are. You don't need to go into the detail of those domain settings. Overall, this issue will not come. And if still the issue is there, we'll address to that issue.
Okay, sir. One more question. Like yesterday, you sent one video regarding that webinar and training. If I want to share that video to another, like I made a one worksheet, but I'm not able to send that because there is some restriction that you are not able to send. This type of a thing, how we can add in our this content, sir? Okay.
So what do you want actually? Do you want to add restrictions to your content?
Yes.
Yeah. See, now what will happen
so
is... Have you created any content?
Hello.
Yes. Sir, Dr. Praveen, you are having Google Drive available with you. The time you are saving any video, it gets stored in Google Drive if you are using Google Meet. The time it gets saved in your Google Drive, you can select permissions from out there. There will be a detailed session on Google Drive wherein you will be, those things will be discussed. Just for your information, the time we create a video, like today, we are having a session using Google Meet. So the recording is getting stored. One who is hosting this particular program, this recording will automatically get attached to his email ID. Now, the time he will access it, he will click on permission. Say, I only am supposed to view it. Then whosoever he will send the link, they will be they will be rather prompted to first send a request for permission. Once they send a request to the permission, they will be granted permission. Then only they will be able to view it. If you are having permission of editor, then you can send it across to anyone. Now, if you are having the question wherein you want to say that I want to create a video, then I want to send it across to people, I will suggest you have to put it in Google Drive. then simply click on that file and grant permission to everyone. Or just write, whosoever is having the link, give permission to view it, give permission to edit it. In that particular scenario, everybody will be able to view it and share it. Dr. Praveen, am I audible?
Okay, sir. Okay.
Thank you.
Yeah. Okay, sir. Okay, sir. Thank you.